Good evening, everyone. Let's be real for a moment. You've had those days, haven't you? The days when you feel like no one really sees you. The days when it seems like nobody cares about you. And you wonder if what you do, what you say, or how you show up in the world even matters. But let me tell you something powerful today. The truth is, most people are too wrapped up in their own lives, their own struggles, and their own struggles, and their own stories to care about yours. And that might sting a little at first. You might feel invisible, overlooked, and maybe even alone. But here's where the magic happens when you realize that nobody is really thinking about you. You're set free. Free to think about you. Free to focus on what you want, who you are, and what you can become. No one is sitting around waiting to see whether you'll succeed or fail. No one is plotting your downfall or thinking about how to help you rise. And do you know what that means? You get to write the script. You get to create your own path because no one else is going to do it for you. When you realize that no one is watching, you become fearless. You can be bold, you can make mistakes, and you can take risks. You get to design your life on your terms. And suddenly, it's not about whether other people care about you, it's about how much you care about yourself. It's about you showing up for yourself every day. The moment you stop waiting for others to validate your dreams, to applaud your journey, is the moment you take back control. You realize that the only opinion that matters is the one you hold about yourself. So I want you to stop worrying about who cares about you. Stop living for applause or approval. Instead, start caring deeply about yourself, about your growth, your purpose, and your power. Because the only person you need to impress is the one looking back at you in the mirror. Let me tell you something that can change how you see the world and your place in it. We often walk around thinking that others are paying attention to us, that they're watching what we do and even silently judging us. We hesitate, we hold back because deep down we're worried about what people might think. But here's the reality: people are so wrapped up in their own lives, they barely have time to think about yours. Everyone is carrying their own load. They're dealing with their own problems, their own fears, their own insecurities. They've got their own dreams they're chasing, their own families to take care of, and their own worries keeping them up at night. And do you know what that means? It means that most of the time they're not thinking about you. Not because you don't matter, but because they are just as overwhelmed with their lives as you are with yours. Think about this for a moment. When you walk into a room, you might be thinking, what do they see? What are they thinking about me? But the truth is, they're probably thinking the same thing about themselves. They're wondering how they're coming across, if they're good enough, if they're being judged. It's human nature. We're all caught up in our own little worlds, and so often we don't have the bandwidth to focus on anyone else. Now, when you really understand this, it's like a weight is lifted off your shoulders. You can stop worrying about every little thing you do, how you dress, how you speak, or how you show up, because the reality is people aren't giving you as much attention as you think. They're focused on their own inner battles, their own day-to-day grind, their own personal storms. And here's why this matters so much. When you realize people are focused on themselves, you free yourself from the prison of other people's opinions. You realize that it's your life and you're the one who needs to be happy with it. You stop waiting for others to validate your choices because they aren't thinking about them in the first place. This gives you permission to be bold, to take risks, to fail, and to try again because no one is keeping score on your life like you think they are. It's not that people don't care about you, it's that they are just as consumed with their own stories as you are with yours. And that's human. So what does that mean for you? It means you can breathe. You can let go of the fear of judgment, the fear of not measuring up, because the truth is, most of the time, people are simply too preoccupied with their own struggles to focus on yours. So what are you going to do with that freedom? Are you going to stay small, afraid of what others might think, or are you going to live boldly, knowing that the world is more concerned with its own problems than with the steps you take? This is your permission slip. Step into your power. Do it for you. Let's talk about freedom, the kind of freedom that changes your life from the inside out. The kind of freedom that isn't about where you live, how much money you make, or the circumstances you're in. I'm talking about the freedom that comes from within, the moment you realize that most people aren't paying attention to your every move. Now, this might sound simple, but when you truly understand it, it's powerful. All your life, you may have been worried about how others see you. Maybe you've been holding back on your dreams because you're scared of what people might say. Maybe you've played it small because the fear of judgment is sitting on your shoulder, whispering in your ear. But the day you realize that most people are focused on their own problems, their own struggles, their own lives, is the day you're set free. What kind of freedom am I talking about? The freedom to finally be yourself, to try new things, to fall down and get back up again. Because you know what? When you fall, when you make mistakes, it's not as big of a deal as you think it is. You might think the whole world is watching, waiting for you to slip. But they're not. They're too busy with their own lives to notice every little thing you do. And that's where your power lies. When you stop living for other people's approval, you get to live for yourself. You get to ask yourself, what do I want? What makes me happy? You're no longer confined by the fear of judgment because you understand that people aren't sitting around analyzing your every decision. They're too busy worrying about their own lives to spend much time thinking about yours. This freedom is about being able to walk into a room without worrying what everyone thinks about you. It's about speaking your truth without second-guessing yourself. It's about trying new things, making bold moves, and chasing dreams that feel right to you without needing anyone else to sign off on your choices. Think about it. How many times have you stopped yourself from doing something because you were afraid of how it would look to someone else? How many dreams have you put on the back burner because you were waiting for someone's approval? How many times have you held your tongue, dimmed your light, or stayed in your comfort zone because you were scared of being judged? But here's the truth: the people you're worried about are probably worried about the same things for themselves. They're not watching you as closely as you think. And once you understand this, you're free to live without all that weight on your shoulders. You're free to make mistakes, to grow, to learn, to be human, because the spotlight isn't on you the way you think it is. This realization gives you the freedom to stop performing for the world and start living for yourself. It gives you the freedom to take chances, to be vulnerable, to be real. It gives you the freedom to fail and know that failure isn't the end of the world, it's just part of your journey. And when you feel that freedom deep in your soul, it's like you've been let out of a cage. You stop trying to fit into other people's boxes and you create your own. You stop holding yourself back because you're no longer shackled by the fear of judgment. You start living your life fully, boldly, authentically on your terms. That is true freedom. The freedom to live as you, unapologetically, without needing anyone else's permission or approval. That's the kind of freedom that changes everything. Let's get real for a moment. Your life, this journey you're on, is yours and yours alone, and nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to walk into your life with a magic wand and fix everything for you. You are responsible for your own journey. Now, that might feel like a heavy weight to carry, but let me tell you, it's also the most empowering truth you can ever embrace. You have the power to shape your own path. You have the power to decide where you want to go, who you want to be, and how you want to show up in this world. Yes, people can help you along the way, family, friends, mentors, but at the end of the day, you are the one who has to walk the path. Let's break this down a little more. Life is full of choices, big and small, and each choice you make moves you forward or backward on your journey. Every decision, every step, every risk is building your future. And here's the thing: you can't wait for someone else to make those choices for you. You can't sit back and hope that things will just fall into place. You have to be an active participant in your life. You have to be willing to say, this is what I want, this is what I need, and I'm going to go after it. So many of us spend too much time waiting for the right time, waiting for someone to give us permission, waiting for life to hand us an opportunity. But let me tell you something: you are the opportunity. You have everything inside you already. You just have to make the decision to start, to move, to go after what you want with all your heart. No one else can make that decision for you. You are responsible for how you handle the challenges too. Life will throw curveballs your way, no doubt about that. You might face loss, failure, disappointment. And in those moments, it's easy to look around and say, why me? Who's going to fix this? But here's the truth: it's up to you to pick yourself up. It's up to you to decide what you're going to do next. Are you going to let life knock you down, or are you going to get back up and keep moving? Now, I'm not saying that you have to do it all alone. You're allowed to ask for help. You're allowed to lean on others when you need support. But even in those moments, it's your responsibility to ask. It's your responsibility to seek out the guidance, the resources, the strength you need to keep going. No one can do that for you. You're responsible for your dreams too. You can't wait for someone to hand you the life you want on a silver platter. If you have a vision for yourself, for your future, you have to be the one to bring it to life. And it won't be easy. It won't happen overnight. But if you're willing to put in the work, to make the sacrifices, to stay committed to your journey, you will see your dreams unfold. And here's the beauty of it: when you take full responsibility for your journey, you take back your power. You stop giving your power away to other people, to circumstances, to fear. You stop waiting for life to happen to you, and you start making life happen for you. You realize that yes, the road will have bumps, but you're the one driving the car. You're in control of the direction. You're in control of how fast or slow you go, and you're in control of whether you give up or keep pushing forward. So let me ask you this, what are you going to do with your journey? How are you going to take responsibility for your life starting today? Because the moment you fully accept that you are in charge, everything changes. You stop blaming others, you stop making excuses, and you start creating the life you were meant to live. This is your journey. Own it. Embrace it. Shape it. Because no one else can do it for you. Stop looking outward for the answers. You have to stop seeking validation from others, waiting for someone to tell you that you're good enough, smart enough, worthy enough. Worthy enough? Because here's the truth, no one can give you the validation you're searching for. The approval you're chasing, it's not out there in the world, it's inside you. For too long, we've been conditioned to believe that our worth is tied to what other people think of us. From a young age, we're taught to seek approval from our parents, our teachers, our friends. We learn to crave the gold stars, the applause, the nods of approval. And as we grow older, we start looking for that same validation in our relationships, our careers, and our social circles. We start measuring our value based on how others see us, on the praise we receive, or the likes we get online. But the problem with this is that it keeps you small. It keeps you stuck in a cycle of always needing someone else to tell you who you are. Here's the truth, you don't need anyone's permission to be great. You don't need anyone's stamp of approval to follow your dreams. The only person you need validation from is you. And when you stop seeking that external validation, you set yourself free in a way you've never imagined. When you constantly look to others for approval, you give away your power. You hand over control of your life to people who might not even understand your dreams, your vision, or your potential. You let their opinions dictate what you do, how you live, and what risks you're willing to take. But here's the thing, those people, they don't live your life. They don't walk in your shoes. They don't know the full story of your heart, your journey, or your potential. And you don't need them the moment you realize that your worth doesn't depend on anyone else's opinion. You can finally start living fully and authentically. You no longer make decisions based on what will get you praise or recognition. You make decisions based on what feels right to you, what makes you come alive, what aligns with your truth. Think about it. How many times have you held back because you were afraid of what people would think? How many dreams have you put on hold, waiting for someone to give you the green light? How many moments of joy have you missed because you were too busy seeking approval from others? But here's what you need to understand, other people's validation is fleeting. Their approval is inconsistent. And if you base your self-worth on that, you'll be on an emotional roller coaster, constantly chasing after something that never lasts. But when you stop seeking external validation, you take back your power. You learn to trust yourself. You learn to believe in your own abilities, your own decisions, and your own worth. You realize that you are enough just as you are without anyone having to tell you so. This doesn't mean you won't have doubts or moments of insecurity, we all do. But it means that when those moments come, you won't be running to others for reassurance. You'll be able to look inside yourself and know deep down that you are capable, that you are worthy, that you don't need anyone else to affirm your value. It's a hard lesson to learn, but when you finally understand it, everything shifts. You stop playing small. You stop shrinking yourself to fit into other people's expectations. You stop waiting for approval and start giving yourself permission to live boldly, to take up space, to go after what you want. You have to learn to be your own biggest cheerleader. You have to trust your own voice more than the voices around you. And that means learning to silence the noise, to tune out the opinions, and to listen to what your own heart is telling you. Because at the end of the day, you are the only one who knows what's best for your life. You are the only one who can give yourself the validation that really matters. So stop seeking external validation. Stop waiting for someone else to tell you that you're enough. Know that you are enough right now, just as you are. Believe in your own power. Trust in your own path. And watch how your life transforms when you finally realize that the only approval you ever needed was your own. Let's dive deep into the concept of taking control of your narrative, because this is where your true power lies. Your narrative is the story you tell yourself about who you are, what you've been through, and where you're going. It's the lens through which you view your life, your experiences, and your potential. And too often we let other people write that narrative for us. We allow their opinions, judgments, and perceptions to dictate how we see ourselves. But the moment you take control of your narrative, you begin to reclaim your life. Think about it for a moment. How many times have you let someone else define your worth? Maybe it was a critical remark from a teacher, a judgment from a peer, or even a loved one who didn't see your vision. Those moments can be powerful, shaping your self-image in ways you might not even realize. You start believing their words over your own. You start to see yourself through their eyes rather than your own. But here's the hard truth: nobody else has the right to tell your story. Only you can do that. When you take control of your narrative, you become the author of your life. You decide how to frame your experiences. You choose which moments define you and which ones you'll leave behind. This is about rewriting the scripts that have been handed to you. It's about recognizing that your past does not determine your future. Yes, we all have chapters in our lives that are filled with struggle, pain, or disappointment, but those chapters are just parts of a much larger story. They don't have to be the defining moments of your life. Taking control means acknowledging those difficult times, but also understanding their role in your growth. Every challenge you faced has shaped you, but it doesn't have to hold you back. Instead, it can propel you forward. You can choose to see those experiences as stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. You can choose to write a narrative of resilience, strength, and transformation. This isn't just about looking at the positives either. It's about being honest with yourself. It's about taking a hard look at your life and saying, this is who I am, this is what I've been through, and this is where I want to go. It's about owning your story, the good and the bad, and using it as fuel to drive you forward. And remember, taking control of your narrative doesn't mean you won't face challenges or setbacks. It doesn't mean that life will always be smooth sailing. But it does mean that you approach those challenges differently. You see them as opportunities to learn and grow, not as definitive statements about who you are. You become a warrior of your own story, refusing to let external circumstances dictate how you feel about yourself. This journey of self-empowerment also means embracing your uniqueness. You are unlike anyone else with your own set of experiences, dreams, and strengths. It's crucial to acknowledge that what makes your story special is that it's yours. Don't dilute it to fit someone else's expectations. Don't change the plot just to please others. Be bold in expressing your truth, because that's where authenticity lies. When you own your narrative, you free yourself from the need for validation. You no longer seek approval from others, you find it within yourself. As you take control of your narrative, you'll find that your life begins to transform. You'll start to attract opportunities that align with your true self. You'll find the courage to chase your dreams regardless of what others may think. You'll learn to trust your instincts, to listen to your inner voice, and to stand firm in your truth. And guess what? You become an inspiration to others. When you take control of your narrative, you encourage those around you to do the same. You show them that they too have the power to define their lives on their own terms. Your story becomes a beacon of hope, a testament to what is possible when you refuse to be a passive participant in your life. So I urge you to start taking control of your narrative today. Reflect on the stories you've been telling yourself and ask, are they serving me? Are they empowering me? If the answer is no, it's time to rewrite them. It's time to embrace your power, to celebrate your journey, and to take charge of your life. Because only you can tell your story, and it's a story worth telling. Make it a masterpiece. Let's take a moment to explore the profound importance of caring for yourself deeply. This isn't just about the surface level things we often think of when we hear self-care, the spa days, the bubble baths, the occasional treat. I'm talking about a deep, abiding love and respect for yourself that goes beyond the temporary pleasures. Caring for yourself deeply means nurturing your spirit, honoring your needs, and recognizing your worth at the most fundamental level. Too often, we live our lives so focused on others that we forget to check in with ourselves. We prioritize the needs of our families, our jobs, our friends, and even strangers, while neglecting our own well-being. We give and give, often at the expense of our own health, mental, emotional, and physical. But here's the truth: you cannot pour from an empty cup. If you're not taking care of yourself, you won't be able to take care of anyone else. Caring deeply for yourself begins with recognizing that you are worthy of love and respect. This means you need to confront any negative self-talk, the doubts and fears that whisper in your ear, telling you that you're not enough. You must challenge those thoughts, push back against the narrative that diminishes your worth. Understand that you are inherently valuable just as you are. You don't have to earn love or respect. You deserve it simply by existing. Now let's talk about what it really means to care for yourself deeply. It starts with self-awareness, taking the time to truly understand your needs, your desires, and your boundaries. This means asking yourself the tough questions: what do I need right now? What brings me joy? What drains my energy? When you start to tune into your own needs, you empower yourself to make choices that nurture your well-being. It's also about setting boundaries. Many of us struggle with this because we fear disappointing others or being perceived as selfish. But caring for yourself means learning to say no when you need to, prioritizing your own well-being over the demands of others. It's okay to take a step back, to protect your energy, and to create space for yourself. Remember, saying no to others can often be a powerful yes to yourself. Caring for yourself deeply also means embracing vulnerability. It means allowing yourself to feel and to express your emotions authentically. So often we build walls to protect ourselves, afraid to show our true feelings. But vulnerability is a strength, not a weakness. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you open the door to deeper connections with others and, more importantly, with yourself. You learn to accept your imperfections, to embrace your flaws, and to love yourself through it all. Moreover, caring for yourself deeply involves creating rituals and practices that nourish your soul. This could be anything from meditation and journaling to spending time in nature or engaging in creative pursuits. Find what feeds your spirit and make it a priority. These practices are not just luxuries, they are essential to your well-being. They are the tools that allow you to reconnect with yourself, to recharge, and to cultivate inner peace. Let's not forget about the power of self-compassion. This is the ability to treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer a friend. When you stumble or face setbacks, don't be harsh or critical. Instead, wrap yourself in compassion. Understand that being human means making mistakes and experiencing pain. Allow yourself the grace to learn and grow from those experiences rather than berating yourself for them. And remember, caring deeply for yourself is not a one-time event, it's a lifelong journey. It requires commitment and intention. There will be days when you feel like you're on top of the world, and there will be days when it feels like an uphill battle. But through it all, remain steadfast in your commitment to yourself. By caring deeply for yourself, you send a powerful message to the universe: you are worthy. You deserve love, joy, and all the good things life has to offer. When you prioritize your own well-being, you create a ripple effect. You not only elevate your own life, but also inspire those around you to do the same. You become a living testament to the truth that self-love is not selfish, it's essential. So take this moment to reflect on how you can start caring for yourself more deeply. What practices can you implement? What boundaries can you set? How can you embrace your unique journey with love and compassion? Remember, you are worthy of this care, and it is never too late to start. Embrace the beautiful, complicated, messy journey that is you. Because when you care for yourself deeply, you begin to unlock the true potential of who you are meant to be. Let's take a moment to reflect on the concept of fear specifically, the idea that you can fear less because in reality no one is watching. Now, this may seem like a bold statement, but when you truly grasp its meaning, it can be liberating. Think about all the times you've hesitated to pursue your dreams, to express your true self, or to take a risk because you were afraid of judgment. We've all been there, allowing the fear of what others might think to hold us back. But let's unpack this notion no one is watching. The truth is, most people are wrapped up in their own lives, navigating their own struggles and insecurities. They are focused on their own fears, challenges, and goals. And here's the kicker: they aren't as concerned about your choices as you might think. The weight of the world is often so heavy that people are too preoccupied with their own stories to scrutinize yours. So why give that fear so much power over your life? Why allow the perception of others to dictate your actions? When you realize that you are not the center of everyone's universe, it shifts your perspective. It's liberating to acknowledge that you have the freedom to live authentically, to pursue your passions, and to embrace your quirks without the constant worry of outside judgment. This realization can help you peel back the layers of fear that have held you captive for so long. Imagine stepping into a room filled with strangers, and instead of feeling anxious about what they might think, you feel a sense of possibility. What if you allowed yourself to be seen as you truly are? What if you let go of the idea that everyone is judging you and instead embrace the freedom to express yourself fully? This is where the magic happens. When you release the fear of others, you open yourself up to genuine connections, to creativity, and to growth. Let's also talk about the fear of failure. This is a big one, isn't it? How many times have you held back from pursuing a dream because you were afraid of falling short? But what if you reframed that fear? What if instead of seeing failure as a reflection of your worth, you viewed it as a necessary part of the journey? When you recognize that no one is watching with a critical eye, you can take risks and explore new territories without the paralyzing fear of what might happen. You can fail spectacularly, learn from those experiences, and rise even stronger. This isn't to say that fear will magically disappear. It's a natural human emotion. But when you shift your focus away from what others think and toward your own journey, you give yourself permission to feel fear without letting it dictate your actions. You learn to sit with that fear, acknowledge it, and then move forward anyway. Think about the power of self-acceptance in this context. When you care less about external validation, you start to embrace who you are at your core. You begin to celebrate your unique qualities and talents. You realize that being authentic is far more rewarding than trying to fit into someone else's mold. Your story, your journey, and your experiences are valuable, and they deserve to be expressed without reservation. Also, consider the impact this mindset can have on your relationships. When you stop worrying about how others perceive you, you can show up more fully for the people in your life. You become more present, more engaged, and more real. You encourage others to do the same, creating a ripple effect of authenticity and vulnerability. When we let go of the facade of perfection and embrace our true selves, we create spaces where others feel safe to do the same. Moreover, fearlessness in the face of judgment can inspire you to take action. You might find the courage to pursue that passion project you've been putting off, to speak up about your beliefs, or to step into a new role that feels aligned with who you are. You'll start to notice opportunities where before there was only hesitation. You'll become more willing to take leaps of faith, to trust in your abilities, and to believe in your dreams. Remember, life is too short to live in the shadow of fear. It's too precious to waste waiting for someone else's approval or fearing their judgment. When you embrace the idea that no one is watching, you set yourself free. You give yourself permission to be bold, to be brave, and to be you. So as you move forward, I encourage you to challenge that fear. Embrace the idea that you have the right to live your life unapologetically. Trust that your journey is yours to navigate, and let the fear of judgment fall away. Because when you fear less, when you embrace your truth without hesitation, that's when you truly begin to live. Imagine standing at the crossroads of your life, where you have the power to decide your path forward. At that moment, you realize that the most potent source of motivation lies not outside of you, but within. When you become your own motivation, you tap into a wellspring of strength, purpose, and resilience that no external validation can ever replicate. Let's be honest, we often seek motivation from external sources, whether it's a mentor, a friend, a book, or even social media. We look for that spark, that moment of inspiration that pushes us to take action. While these sources can be beneficial, relying solely on them can leave you feeling disempowered and dependent. The truth is, the most enduring motivation comes from within. It is a flame that burns brightly in your heart, waiting for you to acknowledge it. When you become your own motivation, you begin by fostering self-awareness. You start to understand what truly drives you, what ignites your passion, and what aligns with your values. This self-awareness allows you to set goals that resonate deeply with your authentic self. Instead of pursuing ambitions based on societal expectations or the desires of others, you create a vision that is uniquely yours. You take the time to ask yourself, what do I truly want? What lights me up? What legacy do I wish to leave? This journey of self-discovery is empowering. It enables you to break free from the confines of external pressure and societal norms. You become the architect of your own life, designing it according to your dreams and aspirations. When you take ownership of your motivations, you begin to understand that you have the power to create change in your own life. You don't have to wait for someone to inspire you. You can be your own inspiration. But let's not sugarcoat it. Becoming your own motivation requires hard work, commitment, and a willingness to face challenges head on. There will be days when you feel doubt creeping in, when you question your abilities, or when the world seems to conspire against you. In those moments, your internal motivation becomes crucial. It's about cultivating a mindset that recognizes setbacks as opportunities for growth rather than reasons to give up. You learn to turn inward for strength, to remind yourself of your capabilities, and to push through the tough times. This internal motivation also fosters resilience. When you encounter obstacles, instead of waiting for external validation or support, you dig deep within yourself to find the strength to persevere. You become more resourceful, more adaptable, and more willing to learn from each experience. This resilience is your shield against adversity, allowing you to bounce back stronger each time life throws you a curveball. Moreover, when you become your own motivation, you cultivate a sense of accountability. You realize that you are the one responsible for your journey, and this accountability fuels your drive. You set your own standards and you commit to meeting them. You develop a routine that aligns with your goals and priorities, creating habits that propel you forward. This self-discipline transforms your dreams into actionable steps, and you start to see progress where you once saw only potential. As you continue on this path, you'll notice that your confidence grows. When you accomplish goals based on your intrinsic motivation, you build a reservoir of self-belief. Each achievement, no matter how small, reinforces the notion that you are capable of creating the life you desire. You become your own cheerleader, celebrating your successes and learning from your failures with grace and determination. The beauty of becoming your own motivation is that it cultivates a sense of autonomy. You no longer feel like a passenger in your own life, waiting for circumstances to change or for someone else to give you the go-ahead. Instead, you take charge of your narrative. You make decisions that align with your values, and you trust yourself to navigate the complexities of life with confidence. And let's not forget the ripple effect this can have on those around you. When you embody self-motivation, you inspire others to do the same. Your journey becomes a beacon of hope and possibility, encouraging friends, family, and even strangers to tap into their own inner strength. You create a community of empowered individuals who uplift each other and strive for greatness together. So take a moment to reflect on your own motivations. Ask yourself, am I relying too much on external sources for my drive? How can I cultivate a deeper sense of self-motivation? What steps can I take today to honor my own dreams and aspirations? Embrace the journey of becoming your own motivation. Recognize that you have the power to inspire yourself and to create the life you've always wanted. Remember, the fire that fuels your ambition resides within you. trust in that fire, nurture it, and let it guide you as you embark on a beautiful journey of self-discovery, resilience, and empowerment. Because when you become your own motivation, you unlock the extraordinary potential that lies within you, and the possibilities become endless. Let's take a moment to explore the profound idea that your life is on your terms. This concept is more than just a catchy phrase. It's an empowering truth that invites you to take charge of your existence, to embrace the unique path that is solely yours. Imagine standing at the helm of your life, confidently navigating through the choices and opportunities that come your way, fully aware that you have the power to define what success, happiness, and fulfillment look like for you. When we say your life is on your terms, it starts with understanding that you are the author of your own story. So often we let external influences dictate our choices, the expectations of family, societal norms, cultural standards, or even the voices of friends and colleagues. But the reality is that your journey is uniquely yours, and it's vital to honor that individuality. This journey begins with self-awareness. Ask yourself, what do I truly desire? What makes my heart sing? What are my core values and beliefs? When you take the time to reflect on these questions, you gain clarity about what you want out of life. Understanding that your life is on your terms also means recognizing the power of choice. Each day presents a myriad of decisions, big and small, that shape your reality. From the career path you choose to the relationships you nurture, every choice is an opportunity to align your life with your true self. It's empowering to acknowledge that you are not a passive participant in your life. You have the ability to steer your ship in the direction that feels right for you. Of course, this does not mean that the journey will always be easy or without obstacles. There will be challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt. But here's the beauty in claiming your terms. When you face these hurdles, you have the tools to navigate them based on your values and goals. You learn to trust your instincts, to listen to your inner voice, and to make decisions that reflect who you are at your core. It's also crucial to embrace the idea of boundaries. Your life on your terms requires that you establish and maintain boundaries that protect your well-being. This means learning to say no when something doesn't serve you or when it drains your energy. It's about creating a safe space where you can thrive, free from the pressures of pleasing others or conforming to external expectations. When you set boundaries, you communicate to the world that you value yourself and your time. You prioritize your needs, and in doing so, you empower yourself to live authentically. Furthermore, understanding that your life is on your terms means acknowledging that success looks different for everyone. Society often tries to impose a one-size-fits-all definition of success, be it a prestigious job title, a certain income level, or a picture-perfect lifestyle. But true success is deeply personal. It's about defining what achievement means to you. Maybe it's pursuing a passion project, cultivating meaningful relationships, or achieving a sense of inner peace. Whatever it is, honor it. Don't be swayed by what others deem important. Your journey is valid and it deserves respect. In this journey of living on your own terms, you also cultivate a sense of resilience. Life will inevitably throw curveballs your way, but when you embrace the idea that your life is yours to shape, you become more adaptable. You learn to pivot, to reassess, and to forge ahead even when the path gets rocky. This resilience is a powerful ally, reminding you that you can rise above challenges and emerge even stronger. Moreover, taking ownership of your life opens the door to immense personal growth. As you explore your passions and pursue your goals, you'll discover new facets of yourself. You'll learn to embrace change, to step outside your comfort zone, and to take risks that lead to growth and transformation. Each experience, whether triumphant or challenging, becomes a stepping stone in your journey, shaping you into the person you are meant to be. Let's also touch on the importance of gratitude in this process. When you recognize that your life is on your terms, you start to appreciate the freedom you have to choose. Celebrate your choices no matter how small. Cultivate a mindset of gratitude for the opportunities and experiences that come your way. This practice not only enriches your life, but also fosters a positive outlook, encouraging you to continue pursuing your passions and dreams. And remember, living your life on your terms doesn't mean you have to do it alone. Surround yourself with people who uplift and support you, those who encourage you to pursue your authentic self. Build a community that celebrates individuality, where you can share your dreams, seek advice, and find inspiration. You don't have to navigate this journey in isolation. Connection can be a source of strength as you embrace the path that is uniquely yours. As you move forward, I invite you to reflect on the areas of your life where you may still be conforming to external expectations. What steps can you take to reclaim your narrative? How can you redefine success on your own terms? Embrace the power of choice and the freedom to shape your journey. Your life is a beautiful tapestry woven from your choices, values, and passions. So step boldly into the realm of possibility, where every day offers an opportunity to create a life that is authentically yours. Because when you live your life on your terms, you not only honor yourself, but you also inspire others to do the same. Your journey is a testament to the power of authenticity, and it deserves to be celebrated. Embrace it fully and watch as your life unfolds in ways you've always dreamed possible. Let's take a moment to delve into the profound idea that you are the key to your own happiness. This is a powerful realization that shifts the focus away from external circumstances and places it firmly in your own hands. Imagine standing at the center of your life, with the ability to unlock the door to your own joy and fulfillment. The truth is, happiness isn't a destination or a prize to be won. It's a state of being that is cultivated from within. Often we find ourselves looking to the outside world for happiness, waiting for the right job, the perfect relationship, or the ideal circumstances to come together before we allow ourselves to feel joy. We believe that if we just achieve certain milestones, happiness will follow. But here's the secret: happiness is not contingent upon external validation or achievements. It is a choice that you can make every day, and that choice starts with you. When you recognize that you are the key to your own happiness, you begin to shift your perspective. Instead of seeing happiness as something that happens to you, you realize it is something you create. This shift is empowering because it places the responsibility for your happiness back in your hands. You have the ability to choose your thoughts, to change your narrative, and to cultivate joy regardless of your circumstances. Let's explore the importance of self-awareness in this process. To unlock your happiness, you need to understand what truly brings you joy. Take time to reflect on the activities, people, and experiences that light you up. What makes your heart sing? What activities make you lose track of time? When you cultivate this self-awareness, you can make intentional choices that align with your passions and values. You can prioritize the things that nurture your spirit and let go of those that drain your energy. Embracing the idea that you are the key to your happiness also means learning to practice gratitude. When you focus on what you are grateful for, you shift your mindset from one of lack to one of abundance. This simple practice can profoundly change the way you view your life. Instead of fixating on what you don't have or what's missing, you start to appreciate the beauty in your everyday moments. Gratitude opens your heart and allows you to see the joy that is already present in your life. Another vital aspect of being the key to your own happiness is the importance of self-compassion. Life is filled with ups and downs, and it's easy to fall into the trap of self-criticism during challenging times. But when you embrace self-compassion, you treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer a friend. You learn to acknowledge your struggles without judgment, to forgive yourself for your mistakes, and to honor your feelings. This nurturing approach helps you build a healthier relationship with yourself, and it creates a solid foundation for lasting happiness. Moreover, taking ownership of your happiness means letting go of the need for external validation. Many of us seek approval from others, believing that our worth is determined by their opinions. But when you realize that your happiness comes from within, you no longer depend on others to define your value. You become more confident in your choices and less swayed by the opinions of those around you. This newfound sense of freedom allows you to embrace your authentic self and pursue what truly resonates with you. It's also important to recognize that happiness is not a constant state. It's perfectly natural to experience a range of emotions throughout your life: joy, sadness, frustration, and everything in between. Embracing your emotions rather than suppressing them is a vital part of being the key to your own happiness. Allow yourself to feel deeply, to express your emotions, and to seek support when needed. By honoring your feelings, you create space for healing and growth, ultimately paving the way for more profound happiness. Another key component is setting intentions. When you approach each day with a clear intention of what you want to experience, you empower yourself to take steps toward your happiness. Start your day by asking yourself what you would like to feel, achieve, or create. This intentional mindset allows you to align your actions with your desires, guiding you toward experiences that bring you joy. It's about being proactive rather than reactive, taking charge of your life instead of letting circumstances dictate your happiness. Remember, you are not alone in this journey. Surround yourself with people who uplift and inspire you. Seek out those who celebrate your successes and encourage your growth. Building a supportive community reinforces your belief in your ability to create happiness. When you share your journey with others, you create a network of positivity that fuels your motivation and joy. As you move forward, I encourage you to reflect on the areas of your life where you might be giving away your power. Are there situations or relationships that are hindering your happiness? What steps can you take to reclaim your joy? Ultimately, the realization that you are the key to your own happiness is transformative. It empowers you to take control of your life, to embrace your individuality, and to create the joy you desire. Happiness is not something you find, it's something you cultivate from within. So step into your power, embrace the journey, and unlock the door to your own happiness. Because when you recognize your ability to create joy, you'll discover that the possibilities are limitless, and your life can be a beautiful tapestry of experiences that reflect your truest self.